Yes, thank you for joining this live chat session. Welcome to all of you. It took me around an hour to fix my equipment to connect with you for this live chat session. That is why I'm late. Thank you for joining, viewers. Kofurak1 says, greetings to our credible reporter Sajid. Good for you to host a live chat session. Thank you, Kofurak1. HM says Sanji Shalom. And third one is saying WhatsApp. What's up? His name is in Tigrinya, I think. Bromi Kingpin. Hi, Sajid from Birmingham, England. Hi, Bromi. How are you? Iyaso G. Selassie says, hi, keep it up. Thank you, Iyaso G. Selassie. AG123 says, hello. Bromi Kingpin is asking about some updates from Somalia. From Somalia, Hunta Slayer is also here. Hunta Slayer is from Somalia. HM says Afar forces are fully backed by Asayas. Okay, I'll respond to this comment of yours. City says Sajid, 21 people here, I hope, are intellectual people. All are intellectual people. Problem is just emotions. People are going through a bad time in this war. Those who are on the ground, they are suffering, but those who are on social media, they're suffering too. They have their relatives there, their family members there, or they have uh, some feelings, emotions, and ambition for their country. So all are suffering because of this instability in Ethiopia. My name is Goitam Magarsa, someone says, whose name is not in English. Thank you, Goitam Magarsa. Emotions run deep. Yes, you're right, Kofurak. Emotions run deep in Ethiopia. I've seen that. I have seen that people are so emotional, and uh, it's understandable. Their state of mind is understandable. Teddy Fentahan, do you really think that civilians in Amhara, Afar, Tigray will accept peace with each other? I think there is a revenge thinking. Any more updates on Abu Dhabi drone attacks? Someone, Kofrak is asking. EE says, hello, scavenger. I know you. I read all of your comments, very hateful comments against me. EE says, uh, Ethiopia is blessed today except the areas under siege by TPLF. It means Ethiopia is not blessed. Tigray is part of Ethiopia. Now, uh, first question was about presence of Eritrean forces on a far front. I have talked to people on the ground and some neutral sources from afar. I am in touch with them as well. I could not confirm the presence of Eritrean forces on Abala front. Now, one of the reasons behind that is it's not that there is all out war on this front. It's a sort of border clash. TDF shelled Abala, then Afar fighters entered Tigray. They tried to take control of some places close to Milazat. TDF pushed them back. So it's not that TDF has launched a full scale attack, it wants to enter Afar. No, that is why I personally think that Eritrean forces are not involved on this front. And TDF does not want to keep on fighting to advance in Afar. Yesterday's statement of Tigray Central Command is very much clear. Tigray Central Command wants some sort of ceasefire on this front. So, according to my information, I could not confirm the presence of Aratin forces on this front. And I have not seen a statement from any TPLF leaders, official spokesperson about the presence of Aratin forces on Abala front so far in the past few days. Someone was asking about Somalia. Somalia, I don't know, after every 2 to 3 days, suddenly a non-issue becomes issue in Somalia. And smooth goings towards presidential election is disrupted. That has been happening for months. So overall, they have agreed about presidential election, president, prime minister, candidates, opposition candidates, regional leaders, all have agreed that by the end of February, I think, that they will conclude the election. So let's hope things seem to be moving in right direction in Somalia if this process is completed on time. TDF already captured Aratin soldiers, HM says. Did they capture them from Abala front, HM? I don't think so. Where is the Somali Leo police? Are you asking about the presence of this police in Amhara? What is happening in the Sudan and Ethiopia border? Well, firstly, the border has been closed once again. Yesterday, Sudan closed its border with Ethiopia. The border remained open for, I think, 10 days. The border has been largely closed. Matimma border crossing between Amhara and Sudan, it's once again closed. As regards TDF's activities to attack Ethiopia from Sudan, we heard of preparations. We heard of preparations there that Tigray forces were trying to organize themselves there. And some attacks have been launched. I think I reported in some videos about that. But we have no information that a large scale offensive is about to happen from Sudan side. Preparations are there. Preparations are there. Someone is saying Voyne has never captured any EDF soldier, even a single soldier. I think they captured a few when fighting was going on in Tigray. They captured a few, they showed them. But none has been captured on Abala front. Someone says, Casa says TPLF is on the verge of collapse. Yeah, your observation should be talked about, I think. Is TPLF or TDF, is it about to collapse? I don't think so. Why? Look at the developments of in the last 3 weeks. TDF has retaken Alamata. TDF has retaken Vaja, Tiboga, and Amhara news sources say that an attack on Kobo could be carried out. So you see, entire southern Tigray has been retaken by Tigray Defense Force. Firstly. Secondly, Adyarke is still under TDF. TDF could not be pushed out of Adyarke. Someone is asking about Sikota. I'm not sure about Sikota. We heard a claim from Agao Liberation Front, but I could not verify that claim. Adierke Mesabre under TDF. Yes, TDF has not been able to reach Adiramat, Humra, but it's time. It has entered Volkait, but it has managed to remain in control of some areas in North Gondar. It has pushed Amhara forces out of Elamata, Vajatamoga. That is why. Don't say that TDF is finished. It's not finished. No party will ever be finished in this war. New recruitments will keep on happening. People will keep on joining the forces. You cannot eliminate any party to this conflict by gun. That is my analysis. People don't agree with me. But that is what has been happening since November 2020, that the war has been going on. Hola says, can you specify the situation of TPLF and other Tigrayan parties? I'm not mentioning TDF since I shared a statement of two Tigray parties, Salsevoine and TIP with you. I personally think that TPLF is in command in Tigray. TPLF is major political force. I don't think that Salsevoine TIP can challenge TPLF. And TPLF is in alliance with TDF as well. Now, Tigray Central Command has the presence of both TPLF leaders and TDF generals. General Sadkan, Varede are member of Tigray Central Command. Debrasian is also member of Tigray Central Command. All Tigray Central Command members are either from TPLF or they are from TDF. So TPLF is in alliance with TDF as well. I don't see any major challenge to TPLF in Tigray. Ethiopian government would try to be a challenger. It would try to create a challenger in Tigray against TPLF. So far, I don't see TPLF being removed from Tigray. Are Somali, Leo in Afar? They are involved in clashes with Afar fighters. We know that on far Somali border areas, there are still clashes going on. Yesterday, I talked to someone, a very neutral source, and he also confirmed about ongoing clashes between Somali and Afar forces. They're not supporting Afar forces, Somali Leo police. Rather, there's fighting between them on Afar Somali border. Important question. Could we say Abiy is political hostage of Amhara and diaspora? Well, I won't use the word political hostage, but I would say that PM Abiy is not in a position to take decisions single-handedly, unilaterally. He cannot do that. It's not possible for him. Amhara leaders have made it clear that Amhara region does not want any talks about Western Tigray, about Humra, Volkait, Sagade. Ethiopian diaspora is also putting pressure upon PM Abiy. So definitely PM Abiy cannot take decisions about Tigray unilaterally. He needs, especially Amhara leadership, not Ethiopian diaspora. He needs Amhara leadership to be on board for any major decision about TPLF, about Tigray, about Humra Volkait. Hello, Etisa says, TDF will be the winner. What do you mean by the winner? TDF is defending its territories. It was challenging to reach Addis Ababa a few months ago. Now it has been restricted to Tigray. It is fighting for its survival. Ethiopian government says its economy has been shattered because of this escalation, because of Agua sanctions. Amhara region says that it will take 40 years to rebuild the region. Who is the winner in this war? I am unable to understand. Fofi Abak ABK says, how long will the siege continue on Tigray? The siege will continue until there are talks, until there is some sort of solution to this conflict. Ethiopian government is not relaxing the siege. It will continue its airstrikes as well. I wrote an article on my website, My Views on News, a detailed article, and I said in that article that Ethiopian government would not stop its drone strikes, airstrikes on Tigray. Someone is sharing results of a match, I think football match, again and again. Burkina Faso 1, Ethiopia 0. Game is just a game. Don't take it so seriously. Games should be taken as games. Players are entertainers. So if Ethiopia is losing, Ethiopia could win as well someday. It happens. Sajid, what can you tell us about Quero? Magatism is asking. They could organize now when Jawar is out, now when Bakle Garba is out. They could demand to be armed as well. Like Fano is armed now. Fano is armed, we know. And yesterday, Gizachu Molune said that more Fanos will be organized and armed as well. So we could see the same pattern in Oromia, but Jawar and Bekle Garba are silent so far. They're not uh, making it clear about what is their next strategy. So Amhara leadership is in command. They're in a position to challenge federal government as well. Federal government wanted to disarm Fano. We saw a document, several channels shared the document. The document was an assessment report about post-war situation. And that document recommended disarming of Fano. Federal government document. But you see that Amhara regional government has clearly stated no disarming of Fano. If Fano is armed and if it attacks people in Oromia, we could see Quero being armed too. But so far, they don't have the backing of any major party. Fanos have backing of Amhara regional government. Oromos will have backing of no party. Neither Oromia regional government nor Oromo Federalist Congress will back arming of Quero. We could see a movement, a peaceful movement. It might happen. But the movement which we saw after the murder of Hachalo, it led to the imprisonment of Jawab Beklegarba. We'll have to wait and see to gauge the political strategy of OFC for future. What's the end of Ethiopian internal conflict? All ethnic groups are recruiting and training. Abiy is losing grip. Well, all ethnic groups are killing each other. So in a way, Abiy is in a strong position as well, that all are fighting among themselves. So if he keeps on strengthening federal forces, then federal government will be in a strong position. But overall, yes, you're right that all regions, all ethnic groups, they are recruiting. I wonder how these recruits will be paid. I mean, yesterday, Somali region did large-scale recruitments. Today, Amhara region shared pictures of hundreds of newly recruited Amhara Special Force soldiers. OL is recruiting as well. Tigray too. So I think it would be difficult to feed, to pay all these fighters. It would lead to armed conflicts, internal armed conflicts. That is why Ethiopia needs some sort of a new start, which I always say. They need to sit. People in government, people in opposition, armed groups, all will have to sit. If they don't sit, then federation will keep on getting weak. It is a Fuldura. We are all arming our youth. Do you see Ethiopia as going to more civil war or national dialogue? National dialogue is so far is a mystery. No one knows who will be part of this dialogue and how it will be conducted, what will be the status of its recommendations. If TPLF and OLA are not part of national dialogue, then how can we say that it is national dialogue? National dialogue means all parties, all parties. Whether you call them political parties, armed groups, whatever you call them, you need all parties to be part of this national dialogue. Once, at least once, you should give a chance to all parties. Then, if someone is against Ethiopia, if someone is against the unity of Ethiopia, the party will be exposed at the table. You should try to expose Ethiopian enemies. If there are Ethiopian enemies, then try to expose them at the table. Invite all parties to the table. There you can expose them if they are against the unity of Ethiopia. AG123, do you think next season will cause tides to change and allies will be more competent? I could not understand your question properly. Situation of released TPLF members from prison. I think they have been released. Sabat Naga and five others, they have been released. Sabat Naga and Abe Vello, Mulu Gabre Gizabir, Kiros Hegos, and one other. They have been released, I think. How about the release of all Tigaro civilians in Gilan detention center? Some are being released. Someone contacted me, someone from Valaita group yesterday, and they told me about hundreds of Tigrayans being released there. They are being released gradually. Tigrayans are being released gradually. Samuel is asking about Kunama and Iro people. How to reach those people, what's happening in those areas on Tigray-Eritrea border. It's difficult. We are hearing rumors, but I don't have any solid information to share with you. So it would be inappropriate to just share unverified information. Sibatu says open humanitarian corridors. Yes, everyone is calling for opening of corridor. The corridor can be through afar as well. I mean, if there is ceasefire on Obala front, supplies can resume to Tigray. It can happen. Teddy is asking about revenge thinking. Revenge thinking was already there. There were ethnic clashes in Amhara between Amharas and Kimans. There were clashes between Amharas and Oromos, between Tigrayans and Amharas. It's not something new. Yes, now there are more wounds which will take time to heal. But at least process should start. Process should start. If they keep on fighting, then these wounds will become difficult to be healed in the future. At least there must be some sort of cessation of hostilities. Then wounds will be healed gradually. It will take some time. You're right that emotions are running high, revenge thinking is there, but at least armed hostilities should come to an end. Let's not make these wounds deeper. Try to start the healing process. Is Aratin government exploiting the war? Beetle says. I did a video on that. I wrote an article on that. I don't think that Eritrea is spoiling the entire peace process. That is the position of Tigray, TPLF, but I do not agree with this position. I don't think that Eritrea alone can sabotage the entire peace process. No, it's not that. Eritrea is in alliance with Amhara leadership, with PM Abiy as well. All of them are almost on the same page. They have a few differences, but mostly they agree that TPLF should be kept under pressure. So it's not that Isaias Afwerki is the only player in this war. He cannot do anything on his own. He needs the support of Amhara regional government, Amhara leaders, and Ethiopian federal government as well. In my view, they are on the same page of very minor differences between them. If Fano is disarmed, shouldn't TPLF be disarmed? Are you asking about TPLF or TDF? TPLF is a political party which has been declared a banned party now. TDF is a force, it's an army now. In order for TDF to be disarmed, you'll have to go through negotiations. TDF will never disarm, it will never be disarmed on its own. What has happened in Tigray, what has happened in Amhara, Afar, they will never surrender. Don't expect that TPLF or TDF will agree to any surrender. They'll never surrender. They'll keep on fighting. And they'll surrender if all regional forces surrender. If all regional forces, which have thousands of fighters, if all of them surrender their weapons, TDF can do the same as well. That's a non-starter when such demands are made that in order for peace in Ethiopia, TPLF, TDF should be disarmed. It's a non-starter. You cannot hold any talks if you have such demands. TPLF will say that for a peace initiative, for peace negotiations, Abiy should be removed from power. That was a non-starter. You saw that TPLF's position led TPLF to nowhere. And TPLF had to retreat after suffering losses from Amhara far to Tigray. So these extreme positions, they're just rhetoric, I think. They are a war rhetoric. They have nothing to do with on the ground situation. Military conflict between Amhara and federal government. I don't see it happen. As I said earlier, Amhara regional government and federal government, they are in agreement. They're on the same page because their rival is one, and that is TPLF. And Arate is on board too. Who does Badme belong to? Barak Moss says. Well, I in several videos mentioned that some international boundary commissions ruled in favor of Arate. I made it clear. But Tigray was in control of that place. After the war, Eritrea has taken back this territory. Now it's up to international experts or the two parties, Eritrea and Tigray, to decide about this place. But whenever I talk about Badme, I always say that some boundary commissions ruled in support of RRT. That is what I can do. It was 32 minutes have passed. Thank you for joining. I think we should now end this live chat session. Thank you for joining. If you have any information which you want me to share on the channel, you can reach me through my email Sajid SAJID 672000. You can share your input there. You can share things which you want me to talk about in my videos there. I have launched a website as well, www.myviews.net. On daily basis, I write articles there. So if you want to understand a development in detail, you can read those articles too. Thank you for joining. Someone is saying you denied OLA advances. I don't deny the advances, but I'll let you know once there are significant advances. I have been talking about OLA for months. I think internationally it was the first channel, My Vision News, which covered OLA's activities. But I'll update you once we have some significant developments on the ground. Yesterday I told you about Jal Jerinium, who was in Central Oromia zone, and he was inaugurating a ceremony of new recruits. I do cover OLA's activities if they're significant. Thank you for joining, viewers. Thank you for being part of this live chat session. See you in the next live chat session. Bye bye.